Welcome back to Flying Dutchman Cards. Today we have something special. I have 7 returns from members of the 1960 World Champion Pittsburgh Pirates. The series went 7 games against New York, and so we're going to relive the series and highlight a player for each game along the way. Let's jump in here. We'll get our first return from San Diego, California. And so this is for game 1, which the Pirates won 6-4, and kind of got off to a good start. So let's see who we got. We have Mr. Bob Skinner. So Bob was the number 3 hitter in the lineup. He was an all-star in 1960, and he only ended up playing in games 1 and 7. He ended up getting hurt sliding into third base and in game 1, and so that kind of threw off the Pirates a little bit because, you know, middle of the order bat getting out of the lineup. So but yeah, Bob Skinner was a great one back in the day, and you can see here we got the autograph on the 1962 Topps. And so yeah, so that's our first return there. So we got Bob Skinner. So we'll just line them up right here. So we got game 1 done. So game 2 was a New York win, 16-3. It was a blowout. You'll notice along the way as we go, the Yankees really, when they won big, and when they lost, it was close. And so it's kind of a funny series in that sense, that they were kind of really essentially dominated them, but didn't end up winning. So next up we have Benny Daniels. So Benny, I'm highlighting him in game 2, not because he pitched. He actually only he didn't pitch in the World Series. He was a member of the team. He got voted a half share for his being part of the team. But why I wanted to highlight him was Bobby Shantz of New York. He actually saved game 2. And so this is a return I got from Bobby Shantz in the past. He's a great TTMer. If you got any cards of him, make sure to send out to him. And so they were actually traded for each other. Bobby Shantz got drafted in an expansion draft, and then got traded to the Pirates for Benny Daniels. And so I thought it was kind of an interesting connection. So Benny Daniels, not really in game 2, but Bobby Shantz, there's a little bit of a connection. So got Benny here on the 1960 Rookie Stars. So I thought this was a really awesome looking card. And actually too, if you watched my past TTM video, this is the one that was lost in the mail for a while. And so happy to have gotten that one back. And that was kind of the one I've been waiting on to make this video, because I'm like, man, that one looks awesome. So got Benny Daniels with a little shout out to Bobby Shantz. And so in game 3, New York won again, 10-0. And so we have a player here. This one is from Springfield, Illinois. This one got a little bent. I'm not super confident that the card did not get bent, but we will see. So yeah, so you can see the last 2 games, New York has won by a combined score of 23-3. But yeah, so let's look here. So we got Mr. Oh yeah, we did get bent. Dick Schofield. So Dick was a key member of the team. So he was a shortstop, and he actually took over for Dick Groat. And so Dick Groat was the 1960 MVP. Dick Schofield took over for him in September. Dick Groat had gotten hurt, and Dick Schofield ripped it up. He was hit 403. There was a stretch where they had like 3 straight doubleheaders. He went 10 for 19 in those 3 doubleheaders, and really kind of helped save the season for the Pirates. Ended up in the World Series, didn't play a whole lot. And so, you know, because Dick Groat, obviously the MVP. So, but he ended up pinching in a couple games, including in the blowout of game 3. Interesting story too is he is actually the father of Dick Schofield Jr., who was a player, played for the Angels. I remember growing up watching him. And then also his grandson is Jason Worth, which is kind of interesting. I didn't know that connection. So obviously when they have different names, it's hard to know. So, but yeah, and then the last kind of fun fact I learned about him, he was a Jostens salesman. So if you ever got a class ring in high school, maybe Dick Schofield sold it to your school. So the other cool thing is, oh, awesome. He included a couple signed index cards. Very nice. That is awesome. These have got, as you get bent up a bit, the card, a little bit bent up. And then I sent questions to each player, and Dick's is the first one to respond. So who is the toughest pitcher you ever faced? He said Koufax, which I would imagine. And who was your favorite teammate on the 1960 Pirates? And it looks like Joe Gibbon. So I'll have to look him up. I don't recognize that name off the top of my head, but very cool. He answered our questions. So next one, we have game 4. And this is the Pirates won 3-2 to even the series. And our last return was from Springfield, Illinois. This was from Springfield, Missouri. There might be a Simpsons theme to this one. Interesting part, Springfield, Missouri is, I've actually flown in there a few times. My company is based in Branson, Missouri. And so I work remotely, and so a couple times I've flown in there, so I know that well. But yeah, so we have Bill VIRDON, and so we got him on here on the 1988 Pacific, and then the 1965 Topps. So got 2 of him. So he was the leadoff hitter for the 1960 Pirates. And he had a pretty good series. He was a great defensive player. Made a spectacular catch in game 4, and also went 1 for 4 with 2 RBIs. So helped them win that game. Since it's a close one, 3-2, so he had the game-winning RBI for that. He also went on to be a manager, as you can see here, for the Astros, 2-time NL Manager of the Year, so which is pretty awesome as well. So yeah, so he signed 2 for us, which is pretty great. So, and then we got some goodies as well. He also was the Rookie of the Year in 1955. He signed that on our index card. Awesome. Oh, nice. And then 1960 World Series champs. So signed both of those. He actually was Rookie of the Year and then got traded the next year. So that was kind of funny. And then, he answered a couple questions for us. Who is the toughest pitcher you ever faced? Gaylord Cisco, I believe. I don't mind facing him, but I couldn't get a hit off of him. Very nice. And then, who's your favorite teammate on the 1960 Pirates? 2 favorites, Bill Mazeroski and Dick Groat, who formed the awesome... Mazeroski was the second baseman. Dick Groat was the shortstop. So very nice there. So we're through game 4, and then we have another one. And so this one's for game 4 as well, because this player appeared in game 4. He didn't play a whole lot. He was actually the 3rd string catcher for the Pirates, which is kind of awesome that they had a 3rd string catcher. And so he came in to 2 different games, including game 4. And that person is, I think that's all I got in here. Oh, got this here. Is Mr. Bob Oldis. So he was the 3rd string catcher for the Pirates. And so, came into game 4. One of his claim to fame is in 1962, Maury Wills set the record for stolen bases with 104. And he was only caught 13 times, but Bob here threw him out twice in one game. So that's pretty awesome. So, so we got him here on the 61 Topps. And then it looks like he also, we'll move that up a little bit. He also signed one of our index cards. So doing awesome on our index cards. And also signed this, Yours in Sports, Bob Oldis, 1960 World Series champs, Pirates. And then who's your toughest pitcher you ever faced? Koufax. And then favorite teammate was Mazeroski. I believe that's Maz. So pretty awesome there. So moving on to game 5. And this is the Pirates won again. So now they're up 3-2. And they won 5-2 in that game. And we have return here from... This is the one that kind of started it all when I saw this player and I was like, man, I just need to get him back. Saw a bunch of them getting them and a bunch of you guys getting them. And so we have Mr. Roy Face. So he was one of the foremost relief aces and really one of the first back in the day in 1959. He went 18-1, which is pretty amazing. So we got him here on the 90 Pacific, and then the 65 Topps, which is pretty awesome. He has some really cool arm angle here, and then on the 1960 Topps, and this is one of my favorite years of design, but yeah, that one turned out awesome. So on his cards it has Roy, but he went by Elroy as well. Scott over at Reindeer Studio has an awesome doodle video of him drawing Mr. Roy Face. So yeah, so he was one of the first ace relievers in Game 5. He came in for 2 2/3 innings and picked up a save. And he saved 3 games in the series, which was pretty awesome. And Rob Nyer, in his book about pitchers, the Nyer James Guide to Pitchers, ranked his forkball as the best forkball of all time. So pretty awesome there. So we got Roy Face. Very nice. We're going to skip Game 6. So, we had Bob Oldest doubled up in Game 4. Game 6, New York won 12-0. And there's nothing good to happen for Pirates fans in that one. But so now we're into Game 7. You guys probably saw who it was. It's Vernon Law from Provo, Utah. So he sent some beautiful stickers there. So very nice. So let's open this one up. So we have awesome. The 1966 Topps. And so, yeah, so he signed that there, which looks great. Cy Young and World Series champ in 1960. So the Pirates were pretty loaded when they had Vern Law, the Cy Young Award winner, and then Dick Grote, the MVP in the same year. Their stats weren't amazingly great. I mean, individually they were, but their team stats weren't great that year. But they did have both of those. So Vern Law, we got him here. So he actually, in 1960, they had 2 All-Star games. He saved the first one and then won the second one, which is kind of awesome. And then he actually was 2-0 in the World Series, and but then he started Game 7. Pitched okay. Part of it was I read a story about how he when they won the National League pennant, Bob Oldest here actually was kind of goofing around with him and pulled off his shoe and actually sprained Vern's ankle, and so he was kind of on a gimpy ankle the whole series, and so that kind of, when he got to Game 7, I think he kind of ran out of gas a bit. But this is obviously Game 7 known. Pirates won 10-9 to win the World Series, and obviously known for Bill Mazeroski's walk-off home run in the bottom of the 9th. But one of the things is Hal Smith's 3-run homer in the bottom of the 8th. They were down, allowed them to come back and have Bill Mazeroski have the opportunity to do that. So pretty awesome there. So then we have, he answered questions for us. Who was the toughest hitter you ever faced? Anyone who can hit to all fields. Also anyone who wears a major league uniform. Sam Musial, when I first got there. Yep. And then who was your favorite teammate? He was my roommate and catcher, Smokey Burris. Didn't throw out many runners, but boy could he hit. That's pretty awesome. So he signed us on that. So we got some good returns in terms of our questions that we asked, and we have all of our members here. We'll kind of cover up Roy Face a little bit there, but yeah, so there we go. So Game 7, Pirates win, even though New York outscored them 55-27 and out hit them 91-60. You got to play all the games, and the Pirates are the first to win 4, and yeah, take home the championship. So one of the cool things I found out when I was researching this project was that out of these 7 players, 3 of them had sons that played in the majors. So Bob Skinner, his son Joel, played for the Indians and also was a manager for them. And then Dick Schofield, who I mentioned, his son, Dick Schofield Jr., and Jason Worth, his grandson, played in the majors. And then Vern Law, here his son Vance, who I've gotten a return from. So now I have a father and son return, played in the majors for a bunch of years as well. So kind of some cool family connections to go along there. So leave a comment down below which one of these returns are your favorite. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you next time.